I would like to hear some tape of this. Here's Mad Dog firing Steve, and this has got to be a professional embarrassment to you to get fired on.
I was actually gone. I didn't hear this.
I see.
Yeah.
If you've noticed, we have made a change already. You've heard Justin Termini. He's been on here since 5. The regular shift's at 6:30. I haven't told him yet. He knew it was coming. He suspected it. We have relieved Steve Torre from Mad Dog Radio.
Wow.
We decided the issue with the golf, with the 57, when he screwed that up, the Dryden with Baudour, when he screwed that up. Last week was the final straw.
Uh-oh.
When he left this channel without an update person between 12 and 2.
Did you do that?
Yeah, I'll explain.
All right.
Last July 4th. And then did not have the audacity to call me and explain his situation.
Not have the audacity
to call me.
He had the audacity.
See what I mean?
Did he go to school?
This is exactly what's so great about his show, though. I mean, he's like a real...
He did not have the audacity to call me. You need more audacity.
Have me hear about it and blindsided by Bruce Murray on the air on Monday. We have decided to unplug Steve Torre.
Oh,
you
are unplugged.
I was unplugged. This whole thing with the programming issue.
What happened there?
We have a show called The Doghouse, sort of like a wrap-up show like you have,
Yes.
the Best of Mad Dog, 7 to 8. So our schedule is we have a midday update anchor after morning drive and before I start. So they do 12 to 2. And that guy who does those updates hosts The Doghouse. But that Friday the 3rd was a company holiday. Chris was off. I said, scrap The Doghouse. We're not going to have the fill-in.
Sure.
Day. So I'll have, we'll just do a taped best of thing. Well, as I said earlier, the guy who does the midday updates, and I forgot, since it was taped, I didn't have somebody to do, not a catastrophe.
And you did not have the audacity to call him?
That's correct. Isn't that terrible?
That's a terrible
That
thing.
wasn't a catastrophe in my eyes, but, we worked
So this
through
is not a joke.
That
I mean,
was the straw that broke the camel's back.
apparently, Robin, I think so, yeah.
Trident Baudour thing.
And now Mad Dog fires his entire channel right
All
here
right,
in this
let me
clip.
hear that.
I put together a staff that is incompetent. I have put together a group of young talk show hosts who I thought were going to be little Mad Dogs, and they're little Bow Wows instead.
Oh.
We don't have any talent. We are the Washington Nationals. Check that. We are the Washington Generals. We had to make a change with our program director. Had to. Sloppiness. Leadership. We are working on a new contract with a new one.
No audacity.
I am not sure how I will handle the rest of my crew. Everything is up in the air. We are in the works with a new program director. We all know who he will be. You've heard of him. He's currently at the station in New York. He's a wonderful program director. He will begin on Monday.
Now,
that part was not true.
Right. Who was he referring to? Chernoff?
No, I think Eric Spitz at WFAN.
Oh, he was...
Martin Brodeur.
That part was tongue-in-cheek.
He was in talks with him, and...
I don't think that was true. But,
How can he say these things if they're so far from being true?
I think he was trying to get under your skin at that point.
I think that's accurate. But now, did you notice when replaying that tape, you can hear voices in the background?
Yeah.
Now, that's our studio. It's unbelievable.
Those are guys egging him on.
Jared took me here for a tour. This is fantastic. Now I see how this is great. But, I mean, we have I'm in there. Guys are sneezing, eating pretzels while I'm doing updates. It's unbelievable.
It's not professional.
Yeah.
And you know how whenever he talks, he goes, Monday, Tuesday.
Is anyone still fired out of this whole thing?
Everybody's the staff is intact.
But
so
they're talentless.
It was like
you could say that.
Was the staff hurt by that?
Well, I think the staff, a lot of guys don't have thick skin, and a lot of them are young, and they didn't react favorably. Some guys...
They went on the air and started blasting Mad Dog.
This really took on a life of its own.
They started blasting Mad Dog?
And then you had some of their followers defending them and saying Mad Dog's a jerk and that kind of thing. So it did spark something. Again, this wasn't something he intended, but it worked out pretty well. It got us some publicity.
Well, maybe you guys will crawl out of the bottom of the ratings and get get to like maybe 122,
That's
120.
our goal, Howard.
Yeah,
I can only hope.
Yeah.
It's
good to have goals.
Taking on all the channels one at a time.
Well, you seem like a nice guy. I'm sorry you're going through all this agito on the air. I mean, it's...
Is it
appreciate
going to
that.
be
Thanks.
okay? Are you guys calm over there?
Yeah, we're good. He's on vacation now. I think it's going to blow over.
When I see him, I'm going to say something to him that it's not professional to treat you that way. I mean, you seem like a decent man. I mean, if he's going to fire you, take you off the air and talk to you. I mean, to do it right on the air didn't seem right.
I think you're probably right. Well, thank you, Howard. It was a pleasure.
No,
Howard,
good
you know
luck.
the level of an insult? He said that the channel is the Washington Generals. You know who the Washington Generals are?
They're very bad.
Well, they're the team that plays the Harlem Globetrotters all the
Right.
time.
Yeah.
That's
They're
not
not
good.
even a real team.
Poor Steve. I mean, the guy's worked at all of the big stations. I mean, this is not a guy who's not professional. How long you been in the business?
Like 20 years.
20 years. You look like a young guy.
Yeah, I'm 45.
Yeah. Thought you were younger.
I joined WINS, I was a weekend anchor in like 89, and they made me staff in 90. So I was a morning drive guy, sports director, and then, I did national stuff at ABC Radio Network, Westwood One.
Are you related to Joe Torre?
Actually, distantly I am. My father and his grandfather were first cousins.
You look like
Look
him
a little bit like Joe
My
Torre.
schnoz isn't quite as big as his, thank God.
Right.
Yeah, but...
I mean, you got some resume. How'd you get into radio? I mean, you went to college or something?
Yeah, not exactly the best institution in the world, but CW Post on Long Island. Grew up in Westchester.
Right, and you put your dues in. I mean, and to be treated this way is very unprofessional.
Well,
wasn't happy.
I feel for the rest of the bow wows on the stage.
Well, Bow Wow.
Little Bow Wow.
I mean, I try to promote my guys a little bit, get Bubba's name out there, and Pharrell, and even Riley gets treated better.
He says there's no talent.
No
on this
talent on the
stage.
I
channel.
have put together a staff that's incompetent. On Monday,
A talentless staff.
we have no talent.
Now looking back, now that I'm employed again, listen, it is funny. I mean,
Yeah.
it's entertaining. It's good.
It is entertainment, but...
As long as you don't take it seriously.
Correct.
Right.
And it's not easy to.
I was afraid you were gone, but all right, you're here.
Yeah.
We are the Washington Nationals.
Thanks
Real
again.
good. Thank you.